Hello, this week we are making cinnamon rolls and we are also going to be making pickles and squash casserole because we have them coming out the wazoo. It's that time of the year where we start canning all that we can and pickles is one of my favorite things. So today, after I make my cinnamon rolls, we are going to make some spicy dill pickles. Okay, I have already added 2 cups of flour and 1.5 ounces of instant yeast to my bowl. Now I'm going to add a teaspoon of salt and make sure this is actually a teaspoon of salt and a third a cup of sugar. Okay, I'm going to mix all of those together now. And then I'm going to put 1.5 cups of water and 6 tablespoons of butter in a bowl and microwave them until they reach 120 degrees. We freeze our butter, so that's why it sounds so hard. I forgot to get this out earlier, so it's a little solid. Let's set, let's see. I'll set approximately 3 tablespoons of butter aside to soften for the filling of these cinnamon rolls. Cup and a half of water. I'll be back. Okay. Okay, it's right at 120. It can be between 120 and 130, but you want it warm enough to activate the yeast, but not too hot to kill it. I'm gonna mix all that together for 2 minutes. Just show we're human over here. I forgot to add eggs, so I'm going to be cracking an egg. I always crack eggs in bowls so that I can check for shells. And now that we are starting to get, these are not our own eggs yet, but now that we're starting to get our own eggs, I always want to make sure they're not rotten. Don't want to ruin a good batch of cinnamon rolls with rotten eggs. Okay, now I'm going to add another cup of flour. And we're going to mix that again for another 2 minutes. The flour likes to fly on me. Now we're going to add enough flour to make this into a dough ball. So I usually bring just a little over a cup over. It can be anywhere from a cup to a cup and a half. It's 2 cups if you really got some wet dough. But I'm going to slowly add this. First off, so flour don't fly everywhere. Second off, so I can tell when it becomes a dough ball. It's still flying everywhere. You can tell it's a dough ball now. Push all this back down in there. Now I'm going to take it out and knead it for 6 to 8 minutes. Now we're going to add a third cup of sugar, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. I guess that's actually the other way around. I'm adding the 2 teaspoons of cinnamon to the third cup of sugar. So this is for the filling. So I'm going to get this made and stirred up. And then, as you can see, I put up my flour because I was planning on rolling it out, and now I remember I needed to make this. So we're going to stir this up, get it ready to go, and then I'm going to roll out my flour. Roll out my dough. These got ginormous. Golly. I cannot figure out how to make them any smaller though. You know? Just give me a second. Put these in there. Ooh, what? I think there's too much yeast in it. I'm going to start cutting back on the yeast. Okay, so now we're going to make some spicy dill pickles. I already cut up the dill and the onions and the cucumbers ahead of time. Thank you to my mom for cutting up the cucumbers for me while I was busy making cinnamon rolls. Okay, first we're going to put the dill at the bottom of the jar. Then we're going to put the onions, all the onions. Watch me make a mess. Now we're going to add some garlic. Or a lot of garlic. And then I add red chili pepper flakes. That's the spicy in the spicy pickles. Obviously, we like our spice. And now we're going to pack cucumbers down in here. One thing my mom and I found out this weekend with all the pickles we made is it is very hard to get these packed down in tight enough to get a good pickle to brine ratio. Okay, now we got all the pickles in. We're just going to put a cap on it just to keep, any kind of kitchen bugs out. In this pot, I'm going to add some water and some vinegar. Okay, now I'm going to add sugar, salt, and pepper. And then we're going to bring it to a boil on the stove. Once it comes to a boil, you can fill it up to about a half-inch headspace in your jar. And then you're just going to put a cap on it and let it cool down a little bit. And then you can stick it in your refrigerator overnight. And within about 24 hours, they should be ready to go. I will say, the longer they're in the refrigerator, the spicier they are. So, Friday night, we all came out to the garden to pick cucumbers, squash and zucchini, green beans, peppers, and even worked on the tomatoes a little bit. Then we spent all day Saturday pickling cucumbers. We made bread and butter pickles, dill pickles. Then we pickled the banana peppers and the jalapenos. And we even got to can a couple quarts of green beans. I didn't get a video of us canning all this, but here's a picture of our plethora of canned goods. Thanks for watching.